Welcome back to the Talent Talk Radio Show. Special thanks to my first guest, Jeanette Meister, the America's Managing Director of WCN, for coming on the show, being my first guest. And if you happen to miss it, you can pick it up on the podcast on iTunes, listen on iHeartRadio, or even talenttalkradio.com. Love to have you continue the conversation with us on Twitter. Don't forget to send your tweets, hashtag Talent Talk. Even if it's after the fact, we still check, we still interact there all the time. So now I'll go ahead and bring in my next guest, who's live in the studio, Chrissy Eblin, the Chief Operating Officer of Golden Spoon. And I guess we're going to find out maybe across the country, or if this is maybe more local, because certainly for me being a local person, I'm like, yeah, I know Golden Spoon. I'm at Golden Spoon all the time. But don't forget, you can just keep that conversation going on Twitter. But let's go ahead and bring Chrissy in today. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
Let's get you really close to the mic there. I want to make sure everyone can hear you. There we go. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about a little bit about yourself, and what you're currently doing over there with Golden Spoon, and kind of maybe more about the company.
Yeah, sure. So I've been with Golden Spoon for a little over 8 years now, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Golden Spoon, responsible for the operations of the company and assist our franchisees to help make sure that their retail operations are as successful as they can be.
Great. And maybe you could kind of give everyone a little maybe background information on Golden Spoon. Sure. How many locations and where are you guys located, things like that.
We currently have about 40 locations. We're saturated here in South Orange County, San Diego County, LA County. We have locations in Arizona and Nevada as well.
Okay.
We are expanding and currently going through a rebranding process. So we'll be opening our first Golden Spoon Cafe at the end of June.
Golden Spoon Cafe, that's interesting. So
very exciting.
What else will we have in there besides ice cream?
So we're actually going to switch from frozen yogurt to a cultured gelato. Wow. So we'll have the same great benefits and healthy bacteria and everything that our frozen yogurt has, but more creamy and decadent. You'll still be able to find those same great flavors, just even more premium version of them. In addition to that, we'll have premium coffees from all around the world, single origin coffee beans. We'll have acai bowls, smoothies, cold pressed juices, and some pastries.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
I know you have another business as well that you founded back in 2007, the Carefree Concierge. So what's sort of the driving force behind that secondary company?
Well, I wanted to create a company to help busy people help manage their time and delegate tasks. Time is a non-renewable resource, and it can't be stockpiled or held in reserve. Once it's gone, it's gone. So yeah, I just wanted to help busy individuals have more free time and spend with their loved ones doing the things that they love and they're passionate about. Yeah.
It's a great idea. I mean, I recently went through a huge, trying to declutter and reorganize myself, and I moved my office to a different room and rebuilt my whole office.
It's a big undertaking.
It's a big undertaking. And I was like, I just need someone to help me get organized. And it was really hard to find someone who, at a really high level could specialize in that and come in and do that. So I had to kind of do it all myself, but I was like, man, that'd be a great idea for business.
And that is one of the services we provide at Carefree Concierge. Yeah, and it's it's something that used to only be available to the wealthy, but we've really been able to democratize that and make it available across the board to everyone. So
that's really great. So as the COO or Chief Operating Officer for Golden Spoon, maybe you could talk a little bit about how does your kind of leadership directly impact or shape the organization, in a positive way.
Sure. Well, there are many things that a chief operating officer of any size company can do to smooth things along. For example, I try to think ahead and anticipate any logistical issues that might likely occur and snag a particular project or goal. Also, I make strong efforts to involve our company employees, our franchisees and their employees, our partners and vendors, and of course, our beloved customers. So.
And I know, just sort of being a customer for many, many years, I won't say for how many, at Golden Spoon, I have noticed your particular franchise, and this is a unscientific observation, but from what I've seen, you guys seem to have a lot of, people who have entered the job market recently, right? A lot of young people, not always, but it seems like you have a lot of maybe first-time workers or second-time. That's a big part of your population. So is that intentional? Is it just sort of happened by accident? I mean, is that kind of are you guys like a really good place for someone's first job, right? I mean,
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think it is a great place for someone's first job. Yeah. I think moving forward with the new cafe concept, we're going to need someone with a little bit more experience, trained baristas. And whatnot, so people that are knowledgeable in the gelato process, the making of the product and everything, there will be more labor involved in the new cafe. So that might change a little bit, but yeah, historically, I think it just kind of happened that way.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how maybe your process then evolves for hiring and who your ideal candidate is, and what you have to pay them, and all those other things.
Right.
You know, that kind of go into all that. I know. So you're sort of really charged in to look at, you know, the efficiencies of the business. Obviously, you're looking at how things are going to be, you know, changing. Then how does this sort of impact, or how are you trying to shape or even change the culture of the company as you guys sort of look to make these changes?
Well, we definitely want to have that premium, you know, perception out there. Everything that we do is going to be premium, from the coffee beans we source to the products, the cultured gelato that we make. So just going out there and really positioning ourselves as that premium brand. And also that third place, like, you know, your place away from home and away from the office that you can go and unwind and spend time, either with your friends and family just hanging out or working. I mean, I use coffee shops often as my place of work. So we want to be that third place for everyone.
Yeah, for us, Golden Spoon is always that place we always go either before or after the movies, right? Because it happens right next to a movie theater where we're at. So, it does have that kind of link to something. Well, so, you know, being in operations, maybe we could talk a little bit about some of the processes you've successfully put into place that have helped you maybe meet some of your target goals for Golden Spoon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for example, when we begin developing a new flavor, there's a number of questions that we ask, like, is it going to be seasonal? If it's, how sweet is it going to be? You know, will it reach all of our customers? Will it, you know, appeal to all of our customers? So there's a lot of questions that we ask. And then we're very proud at Golden Spoon that our products historically have been all natural, premium. We don't use cheap powdered products. You know, they're kosher, halal, many of them. So yeah,
and do you think your clients know? I mean, is that something that's well known? Because I don't think I ever knew any of that. I've been a customer for a long time.
We have done a poor job historically of positioning ourselves that way as that premium brand that, you know, offers all these
it just tastes good.
benefits.
That's why I go in there.
Yeah,
I mean, there's all these other extra things. That's really cool.
But moving forward, we are going to position ourselves and you know, do a better job at communicating that to everyone. So
right. Well,
big goals.
Yeah. You know, in your role, well, I was like, I guess maybe if you could share some of your processes or some of the things. Is there any other things that you're doing specifically around talent or around efficiencies, maybe with cost or with profits? Is there anything else you guys are kind of really thinking about right now?
All of the above, actually. With the whole rebranding process, it's such a huge undertaking. So everything, you know, we have to consider as far as costs and, you know, ingredients and, you know, working with the architecture and, you know, the designers and what the health department. I mean, it's all a lot of, it's crazy, but it's a great process to go through. We're excited about it.
Well, I imagine that puts you in a spot to really flex your leadership muscle, and having a good, I guess, a leadership philosophy is super important. How do you feel your philosophy kind of fits in, and how does that, you know, encourage the growth and talent around you?
Yeah, I always say treat others as you would want to be treated. So it's the golden rule for Golden Spoon, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, just you know, do unto others as you want them to do to you. So.
Yeah. That's good. Well, switching gears, you know, to your own company, Carefree Concierge. It seems like this is really a place that could help people and provide, you know, lots of different people a way for them to work better, have a better life balance, as you mentioned, get time back. Do you feel that people that utilize this service for that purpose, or is it just make their life easier? I mean, what do you think is sort of their main benefit? Yeah.
Oh, yes. I believe that trying to achieve a work-life balance is important, especially when it is so easy to gradually spend more and more time at work and less time with on yourself or with your loved ones. So an example is, instead of waiting several hours for the cable TV technician at home, a Carefree Concierge client could instead attend their children's athletics or music event. And then likewise, a person who's swamped at work can use Carefree Concierge to take care of home needs so that he can, you know, focus on the work project that he needs to do, or just get some sleep, get some rest. Yeah.
Right. So you had this, you know, dual experience of being an entrepreneur and then also working in a, you know, more established company as an executive. So what do you feel are the biggest challenges kind of facing companies in the future when it comes to, you know, staying relevant or staying in the eyes of the consumer? but also, I guess in the eyes of the talent that you want for those people to come and work for you, right?
Sure, yeah. Well, I think more and more workers are moving away from the old be at the office from 9 to 5 day routine. So this especially is true in California, but very few startups ask their people to work in starched shirts and ties anymore. And it's important for companies to try and be flexible and responsive, to their employees and their consumers. So their contractors, everyone.
Right, right. Well, especially out in this neck of the country where you're definitely not
not the typical.
Shirt, yeah. I mean, my organization is completely virtual, right? So I have people all around the country, and they all get dressed, but I jokingly say they can work in their underwear all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I asked our last guest this similar question, and maybe you have a really cool answer, and that would be: is there an app or a gadget or something maybe you've added to your life recently that's kind of helped you be more productive or a better person or a better listener or anything like that?
Well, I definitely depend heavily on my smartphone and my laptop. They're with me all the time. So just making sure that it's reliable and has enough memory and everything to support my needs. But it's not an app that I guess, or that I use, but I do find it valuable to time batch everything. So I use this technique in several aspects of my life, including social media, blogging, and any other similar activities that I can batch together. So, and there are apps that can assist that, such as Planoly or Buffer to schedule, posts and things like that. So,
I've recently gotten lost in the app called Masterclass. And they advertise it over Facebook and different platforms, but it's these people who are masters of their class, of their thing, and they're doing these little mini classes on how to do what they do. So I've watched, Paul's giving me the thumbs up. So I'm doing Thomas Keller right now, who's a famous chef. And
yeah,
so
I know Thomas Keller.
Yeah.
I've met him several times.
Yeah. So I've been to his restaurants. And so
I love the French Laundry.
Yep. And I'm more of an ad hoc guy just because I'm too cheap to pay for French Laundry. It's so expensive.
I'm actually going in June to be in Napa, so
well,
I'll be there.
Ad hoc is great. So probably the best brunch of my life.
Amazing.
So anyways, he kind of goes through these little techniques and things, and I've changed a bunch of my processes recently just kind of based on his, and it's made a huge difference.
I have to check it out.
And then, so there's chefs have done things, then there's writing, so like Judy Blume or Malcolm Gladwell are like telling you how to write, right? So if you're into writing. And then there's even, if you want to learn how to play basketball, Stephen Curry's there doing it. If you want to look tennis, they have Serena Williams. They have all these different categories, right? And if you can either buy one class or you could buy a whole year subscription and just
immerse yourself in it.
Which is sort of what I've become lately.
I could see myself doing that and getting lost.
I'm not usually a person that ever sits still, and I've been doing a lot of like sitting and just watching.
Me too. As you can tell, I'm fidgeting this entire interview.
So that's kind of my app recently that I've, a thing, I guess, but I've been learning a lot. It's been expensive too because I'm like, have to have the best pan now.
Yeah, right.
Thomas Keller says I have to have this pan, so I have to have this pan. Well, what about books? So, I mean, we read a lot of books, and I even run a book club here in Orange County, for professionals. And so I was looking for the next book that we might read. Do you have one that you've been thinking about or reading recently?
Well, I just received a compilation of President Lincoln's speeches and writings.
Okay.
So I haven't actually begun it yet, but I've glanced through it, and seems like, President Lincoln was a very thoughtful person. Did you read the other book, The Team of Rivals, that came out a few years back? I have not read that. No.
Okay, that is amazing. Now you only need the abridged version. You don't need the full, because the full has all the letters that you don't need to read.
Okay.
But what I found fascinating, you may find this with Lincoln, is he has this mystique of being such a great leader, and actually what he was a complete and total failure for a very, very long time. He kept trying things, and he kept being terrible at it.
Well, the more you fail, the more you succeed. More likely you're succeed.
And then in the end, he really kind of figured it out, right? And his sort of the way he approached things with people was kind of amazing. And so he actually was, to your point about treating people how you would want to be treated, he was very, very thoughtful in his relationships with people. And despite all the failures and how people didn't do what they were supposed to do, in the end, it sort of came around. So you may find some. I was shocked to know how bad he was for so long. I thought he was like this amazing leader, right? And he kind of grew into that.
Yeah.
So, really interesting.
I try to dive into as many things as I can, fail as much as I can. So eventually, I'll succeed.
We're all there. So talking about failing, have there been any failures when it comes to flavors at Golden Spoon that you
I've been asked that several times.
Have you? Okay.
It's funny. We spend a lot of time in our R&D process, and we really do a very good job at sourcing our flavors and working closely with our dairy to make sure there are no flops and, researching what's hot, trends and things out there. So we haven't really had any flops, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
There's been some ones that are a little bit weird, like Tiger's Blood back in the we had, which was very popular for a short time with the whole Charlie Sheen thing, and then it kind of went down.
It kind of went down.
So I don't know, but our flavors overall are just they've stood the test of time too. We've been around for 35 years. And a lot of the flavors are the same as they were back then, like our old-fashioned vanilla and just chocolate.
Right.
And even though we are innovating and creating new flavors, those ones just,
Now, this is probably my palate, but I'm always advocating for herbs and those kinds of things.
Do you want a savory kind of
Something
menu?
like I would love like a lavender yogurt, right?
We are doing some things with like lavender, roses, like
rose, like flowers and herbs and things like that.
Yeah, we're playing around with some stuff.
Because that's different. Because you have like peanut butters and chocolates, kind of hit
the rich and indulgent,
right? And then you have your sweet. Like I'm very often like a vanilla, chocolate, peanut butter, strawberry, right? I have kind of the mix just to get the sweet in there.
Yeah.
But there's never that other flavor.
All right. What do you think about a balsamic strawberry? Like something
that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But you could even go. Imagine there could be other things on the balsamic road too, not just strawberry.
Yeah, not just strawberry.
That'd be really good. So,
we're playing
balsamic fig.
Oh, that sounds really decadent. Oh, yum.
I'm gonna quit my job and go work for Golden
I
Spoon.
know.
Right.
It's all the Thomas Keller videos you've been watching. I love it.
That's great. Well, I really appreciate you being a part of the show. We talked about a lot of different things here with the 2 different companies and things that you're doing. If there was if someone was listening, but maybe they couldn't pay attention the whole time and they remembered one thing, is there one thing that you hope they might remember?
Yeah, I think treat others as you want them to treat you, and try to plan ahead and anticipate potential problems as much as possible, because Murphy's Law is always lurking around the corner. So, yeah.
Well, awesome. So how can people find out more about Golden Spoon? Maybe they are interested in the bistro coming soon. Maybe they want to work for you. Maybe, I don't know, are your actual stores corporate owned, or are they franchises? Or
currently we have 1 corporate location that we expect that to change very soon with the expansion plans, but all the other locations are franchised.
Okay, so they might be interested in working for you. They might also be interested in being a franchisee.
Yes.
So what's the best way for them to find out more about Golden Spoon?
Well, they can visit us at goldenspoon.com. You can email me at Chrissy@goldenspoon.com, or follow our handle at Golden Spoon. So.
And if you are... let's see, Paul's asking me, we should spell it out.
Oh,
okay, yeah, there we go.
Spell Golden Spoon at...
No, I think your name.
Sorry. Chrissy, it's a CHRISSY at goldenspoon.com.
There we go, just in case, because there is many variations of that.
Yes,
so
true.
I thought Paul was trying to do a musical interlude with this sort of hand gesture he was doing, but...
He wants us to sing.
Yeah. Now, what about Carefree Concierge? Is that... really kind of more local specific?
Currently, yeah, it's serving South Orange County and some parts of LA County.
So if you happen to be in those areas and you need help, where can they go to find out more about that?
You can go to carefreeconcierge.us, not .com.us or .net, and you can email me at Chrissy, CHRISSY at carefreeconcierge.us.
Well, perfect. Really appreciate you being a part of the show and coming down to the studio and joining us. Well, I think that's it for our today's show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was awesome.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to today's show. Hopefully you gained something that you can use in your own career. Next week, I will have Perry Timms, the founder and Chief Energy Officer of PTHR, and Charlie Judy, 2 first names. That's kind of threw me for a loop there. The founder and CEO of WorkXO as my guest. I look forward to a great show. Until then, do what you love and show the world how talented you can be today.
You've been listening to Talent Talk Radio, brought to you by People G2. Everyone knows that moving is one of the most stressful times in a person's life. And the worst part? Searching for cardboard boxes. It's absolutely prehistoric. Digging through dumpsters, going from store to store, buying stacks of them you're only going to throw away later. Well, now there's an answer. Bungo Box. Bungo boxes are durable, stackable, eco-friendly, plastic moving containers that will cut the cost of your packing supplies in half. And they're made of hard plastic, which gives you much more protection for your precious belongings. Much better than cardboard. Bungo boxes hold over 100 pounds per box, plus our boxes never, ever need tape. That's right, no tape.